Hello everyone, my name's Barbara and I have a big passion for history. I don't claim to know it all, I don't claim to remember all the different facts and figures, but I do enjoy it, so I thought I might share just a little bit of the history that I love. My main area of interest is Anglo-Saxons and the Plantagenet era. So, for starters, this is a book my dad left, and it's Anglo-Saxon England. My favourite Anglo-Saxon king has to be King Alfred, the one who supposedly burnt the cakes. And I also love his grandson Athelstan, who became the first actual King of England. So that's that. Very special to me. And when it comes to Plantagenet kings, I love Henry II. His queen was Eleanor of Aquitaine. That's quite a story of temper and betrayal there. And I also have this book on the Plantagenets by Dan Jones. I'd highly recommend him. And I also have a book on King Harold, the last Anglo-Saxon king. And Edward the Confessor. Now, Edward the Confessor, oddly enough, was actually brought up in Normandy. His mother, Emma of Normandy, was obviously a Norman. He was actually brought up there, so it's very odd how things turned out there. And this is also a very good read if you want the general history of England going way back. I do quite enjoy the history of the Celts, but there's nothing that captures my imagination more than the Anglo-Saxons. And finally, this big boy I picked up from a charity shop, The History of the World. I also did, well, I say I like King John. He wasn't a very nice fellow, but he did found Liverpool in on the 28th of August 1207. What are some other favourites? Edward II, while not being a very good king, there was a very intriguing relationship that he had with a guy called Piers Gaveston. And eventually his wife Isabella of France deposed him, and he ended up coming to a very sorry end. But yeah, just to start it off. Oh, and one more thing, I do quite like ancient history as well, and that's another one of my books. There's still a whole bookcase full upstairs of history books. And at the moment I'm reading a book called Stephen and Matilda. Now, Stephen and Matilda were the two protagonists in a civil war called the Anarchy, which was caused when Henry I's son, William the Atheling, was killed in the White Ships disaster. And basically, William the Atheling and a load of his mates, a load of nobles, had got aboard the ship, the White Ship, and they were basically drunk as anything. And the ship ran into trouble, and basically just about everybody on board was killed. Well, King Henry didn't have any other heirs, no other legitimate heirs anyway. And so Henry I's cousin Stephen hightailed it over, hopped straight over from France, from Blois in France, and had himself made king. And of course there was a civil war with Henry I's daughter Matilda. So I'm currently in the middle of that. I've read all of this book. I've read all of the Plantagenet's book, but I haven't read all of my dad's Anglo-Saxon England book, and I haven't read all of the History of the World book yet, so I've got a little bit of catching up to do. As I say, I know a little bit about the facts and figures, but I wouldn't call myself an expert, but that's just a little bit about my interest in history. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. Bye.